Hello and welcome to this edition of the Potomac Local News Podcast. I'm your host, founder, and publisher of Potomac Local News. I'm Uriah Kiser. Thanks for joining us on the podcast today. John Williams is my childhood. And who is John Williams, might you ask? Well, if you've ever watched Star Wars, if you've ever watched Superman, if you've ever seen those dinosaurs come across that fence in Jurassic Park, you have heard the music of John Williams. He is a master composer. He is best known for his work in film, and his stuff is iconic, and it is really some of the first music I can remember listening to as a child. I'll be honest that when Christopher Reeve playing Superman took off and leaped those giant buildings and flew into the sky with John Williams' thundering Superman theme, that stuck with me from a child here to a 40 guy who's about to be in his mid 40s. And it is heartwarming to see this music being played live on stage here in our area. What I want to talk to you today is about the Notes and Frames Music Festival that we went to see on June 6th. We were graciously invited to the Kennedy Center to see this festival, Notes and Frames by the National Symphony Orchestra. My wife and I were delighted to go to the Kennedy Center to see this show here. I'll share. There we are. That's my wife and I. We're there on the terrace of the Kennedy Center, overlooking the Potomac River and Roslyn there in Arlington. And I'll show you a picture of this if I can get this to work too. I'll show you a picture of one of my favorite pictures of my wife and I sharing our time here at the Kennedy Center for this show. But being able, what Notes and Frames was a festival of film music scores that you've seen across multiple films in Hollywood, going back to the early to mid 20th century, all the way up into the late 20th century, with, of course, John Williams and where his music. So I'll talk about some of the stuff here that we saw. Let me go ahead and share this screen with you again and see if we can get this working here. Gosh, love this. So the film scores that we had in this Notes and Frames Festival, it ranged the gamut. I mean, you look at some of the things here that we had. The main title in Jungle Dance from King Kong, The Adventures of Robin Hood, the Kathy's theme from Wuthering Heights, Sunset Boulevard. I mean, these are classic American films that stand the test of time. When someone says, Sunset Boulevard, you instantly know that's a classic. But the lesser known stories behind these films that you immediately think about, if I'm thinking about Sunset Boulevard, I'm thinking about, the actors, William Holden and so forth on screen. But you don't really think about the music of these movies and how they're almost characters inside of these movies as well. I mean, you think about, Vertigo, which they played, the prelude from Vertigo, and they played a series of themes from Vertigo. That is scary, haunting music. It really is. If you remember the 1958 Alfred Hitchcock theme with Jim Stewart in it. It was a fantastic movie, but you take the pictures out of it and you sit in the Kennedy Center, you sit in the concert hall, and you sit and you look at the National Symphony Orchestra just on the stage, just playing, belting out, with their instruments, obviously, but, from the strings to the percussion to the brass, and they bring together this wonderful sound that is just captivating. And I'll be honest, some of this music, I've never heard, I've never seen. I'm sorry to say, it's in my streaming queue upstairs. I've yet to watch it, but Once Upon a Time in America, starring Robert De Niro, not seen that movie. And there's also they played some Taxi Driver, um, some a theme from Taxi Driver. Max Steiner, if you've seen Gone with the Wind, you've probably heard it somewhere played, even if it's sort of a parody or what have you. It is a pretty common thing. You know it if you hear it. But Max Steiner, they played the theme from Now Voyager, the from the film there, and it is. I'll tell you, I got into. I saw Gone with the Wind for the first time about 3 or 4 years ago. I didn't read the book. I didn't watch the movie. It was always it was long, it was drawn out, but I watched it and just the quality of how this movie was made. The number of extras that they brought in to for these scenes that they have these in Atlanta, these Civil War battles, and then when they burn the city, and then just the number of sheer bodies that are in that scene there, and the way this movie is shot, and of course the story that is told. It is one of the greatest films I think that has ever been made in terms of production and the storytelling and what have you. But Max Steiner's theme, just I can't imagine that movie without Tara's theme from Max Steiner. Now, we didn't hear that on stage at the Kennedy Center, but we did hear something that I had never heard. And again, that is the Now Voyager suite. And to me, it just clicked immediately because you heard that music, you heard. I was like, oh yeah, that is so interesting to hear how the two musics there are related. And so I want to bring in the director here. His name is Teddy Abrams. And he was fantastic to listen to as he described the music, as he described the nuances between some of the different suites that the orchestra played. And he told the story. It's a uniquely American story because especially in the mid 20th century, when you had Nazi Germany and World War II, you know a lot of these composers who were born in Europe and were surrounded by uncertainty and adversity there under the Nazi regime actually came to the United States, and they planted their flag and they did what they shared their art and they composed this brilliant music. And he made just a great point. This music needs to be cut in time to different cues to fit the movie that for which it's being made. But so it's not like a Bach or a Beethoven or what have you. It's specifically for the movie. But I'm sorry, if you ask me what is the Bach or the Beethoven, the Mozart of our time, given the popularity of film in Hollywood and what have you over the past 100 years, I gotta say, Hollywood film soundtracks are the classical style music of our time. And because we have such a connection with the films that we love, going back all these years, it's great to hear these scores being played by the National Symphony Orchestra at the Kennedy Center. It was fantastic to see that. And you might be saying, well, Uriah, the National Symphony Orchestra does this all the time. They're fantastic every time they take the stage, and you haven't been to the Kennedy Center, you just don't know. And you'd be right. I haven't been to the Kennedy Center since I was in the 4th grade. I mean, probably going back to the early, I think it was 1990, 1991, right? I went up there for like a field trip. And that's the first and the most recent time I'd been there up until now, where we went to Notes and Frames and saw the National Symphony play this beautiful music. And so what a great experience that was. Here's again, me and my wife Jocelyn, right here in the hallway. Right behind us is the bust of John F. Kennedy in the Opera House. The concert hall is actually in front of us, on the other side of us, and so beautiful. The Kennedy Center is beautiful. It is decked out very nicely. Across the lights there on the outside of the Kennedy Center, you see the red, white, and blue. You're in Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, and that you are at the center of the arts for Washington, D.C. It really is. It's a fantastic experience. So if you've not been to the Kennedy Center, and there is something there for everybody. As we were coming in, obviously I'm wearing, we dressed up to go to the Kennedy Center. We dressed up, we try to look nice, because it's fun for us. It's fun to dress up. But in the Opera House, and from what I understand is the bigger room and the quote unquote, when you watch TV, and you see things from the Kennedy Center, they're generally from the Opera House. That's the bigger area. They were doing an opera in there that had something to do with Led Zeppelin. And the guy that we ran into, the couple that we ran into, as we got to the Kennedy Center and found our parking space and figured out which elevator we had to go to, they were wearing a T-shirt, and they were going to an opera about Led Zeppelin. His black T-shirt. I mean, so. And they were cool. Like, we talked to them. It's just, the Kennedy Center is putting on arts that span the gamut. And so I highly and just encourage you to, if you've not been, check them out, see what they're about, and support the local arts here in our region. But again, this opportunity to go and see some of this music being performed live, and I'll get into this, I wrap up here. It's for me, it was a bucket list thing. And going back to John Williams, who is by far, again, when I listened to so many movies in my childhood, so many themes that get stuck in my head, and I just have fond memories when they come on. And yes, I'm the guy. I have movie soundtracks. I have the John Williams channel and others on my Pandora when I'm, in my car. So the National Symphony Orchestra played Adventures on Earth from E.T., and that is another John Williams theme. And if you hear it, you know it. You probably, if you've not seen E.T., you've heard the theme when Elliot and E.T. take off in that BMX bike, and E.T.'s in that basket. They fly across the moon. You hear that music, you instantly know what it is. And it just, I can't describe for me how amazing it was to hear that. It's such a beautiful setting with a wonderful orchestra play that, standing ovation there at the end. And then as Teddy Abrams walks off the stage, and we're all still clapping because it was just a fantastic show. He comes back on, and they do the encore, and the song that they did, if you took this song out of the movie, if you took this piece completely out of the movie would kind of be a bunch of guys just sitting around angrily on boats looking at the water. And the song, the piece I'm talking about is Jaws. And so if you heard it, you've heard it, that sound, dun dun, what you're listening to when you hear it, because it is iconic. And the nerd guy in me just started clapping and shouting. And my wife's like, "You can't do that here. This is not Jiffy Lube Live. You can't just start shouting. You have to calm it down. You have to be respectable. This is the theater." But nonetheless, it was so fun to hear these songs. And to experience this live. There is nothing like the live theater, the live performances, the live arts. And thank you so much to the Kennedy Center, who invited us to come in and check this out and see what it's all about. Again, first time to the Kennedy Center in over 30 years. And it did not disappoint. So that's my kind of takeaway. It's my review for Notes and Frames. And again, it was fantastic. If the Kennedy Center invites us back to review other shows, I'd be more than happy to go and tell you about them and share photos with you as we do that. So that's it for our review. We support the live arts, and you can always check us out for more local news at potomaclocal.com and get our free email newsletter that goes out every day. We have our daily news email goes out at 4 o'clock, and we have our morning newsletters throughout the week that go out periodically on at 7 a.m. So we have our Manassas Monday, our Prince William Wednesday, and our Fredericksburg Friday emails, all packed with things to do, local information, fun tidbits, and of course our Thursday weekend preview. Don't miss that as well on Thursday. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.